do like showing the CNN student news, and I know I've probably talked about that several times in the past, but it really has helped this class because now we don't watch it every day anymore, but there was part of this quarter where we were watching it every day. And now they are coming in saying, did you see such and such on the news? And I may not have even heard about that. And they'd say, oh, I thought you knew. No, and tell me a little bit more about it. So I think that showing the CNN student news is kind of getting them, making them a little more inspired to really seek out current events, what's going on, let's talk about it, how does it relate to me? Even today, we got in a deep discussion. We didn't even get to finish addressing all the current events today because there was one that just really stuck to them. So we talked about that today. But that's how we addressed it in class today with CNN Student News and talking about what's the argument for why Obama did this, but then what's the counter argument? Which again, talking about that global issue as it relates to argument and counter argument, you could still apply that to the paper that you have to write. Now, there is not going to be a topic on the exam next week that has NBA in it. Well, there might be, but I doubt it. But you could use this as evidence to support a topic on justice, or maybe even racism or discrimination. What other coming together? We talked about that last week or last class. Voice. What about celebrity? Do people always use their celebrity for good?
No.
No, but in this case, maybe they will. Okay, put their money together to buy this team to prove a point. How were people protesting recently? How were some of the teams
Like the NBA, like this team and stuff, like they took off their thingies and they turned their t-shirts inside out.
They turn their jerseys inside out.
Use social media.
Mistress were all black.
So my point is, how many other topics branch out of this news story that could be possibly on
Justice
that
finally.
Oh,
What do you all define as world news or global news? Like, what is world news?
International affairs.
Okay. Are we a part of that?
Yeah.
Do we include America if we're living in America? Can I say what is world news? I don't know the answer to that.
America is national news.
Okay.
World news could be
You think we're on Should you think international? Is it relevant?
Yes. Oh, it's.
You just told me it's way more interesting, but I only see one theme here in world news stories.
I was watching CNN last night, and they were talking about how Obama is trying to be like doesn't want to be looked at like a bad guy.
In Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
there was a group of girls from 16 to 18, I think.
Oh yes.
And they,
No, I heard this yesterday and this morning. I'm
they
sorry.
were in school,
Yeah.
and terrorists came in there and kidnapped them because they were in school and they weren't, like, they don't want them to be in school.
Oh yeah.
I'll put them.
What are now? Let's think about what are some things that can evolve from that. We've got terrorism, the threat of education.
That girl that got shot.
Malala. We're talking, so we're talking about Pakistan. Remember, and sometimes I hear this concept of them versus us, but are these things only happening elsewhere? All right. So when I pull this up, I want you to just pick the stories that you consider global, whatever you think are global. All right, we're gonna do 1 to 5. Scale of 1 to 5.
wait, one was being like the least.
1 being the least relevant, 5 being the most relevant.
To you or to like?
To you.
Hey, thanks for taking 10 minutes to watch CNN Student News. I'm Carl Lazus at the CNN Center, and today's commercial-free coverage begins in Iraq.
Again, we've been discussing current events a lot, even just by watching the news or reading some news stories. They're getting a better understanding of various events, current events that are global and also local.